I'm going to go to the comments screen so I can see you as you join us. Hello, hello. Let's see. Hello, Julie. So I did an online free eye test, and I am officially somewhat visually impaired. Not to the point where I need glasses to drive, thankfully, but enough that I cannot read your comments from this far away, so give me just a second. Hello, Carmen. As you can see, I've made the likes a lot bigger. So now it's a little in front of my face for like a second, but it's so much fun. It's so much fun to see your names, to see your faces, sort of, kind of, to receive your love in the form of likes, which I get to see. It makes me feel like I'm getting applause, which is important for the energy of these shows. So it's good to be back here. Good to be joining you once more for this Saturday Feral Fan Gathering. And I kind of did the same thing that I did last week, where I've got a theme that I've built the songs around. And it started because I've just been really feeling kind of drawn to this archetype of the magician, getting drawn to this idea of music is magic, and how can I wield my music as magic in a positive way. So that's kind of the theme of this set. It should be fun, and it's acoustic because I'm doing Feel Better right in the middle, and the acoustic has a tuner built right into it, so I'm not going to have to flip to another page. So it should be fun. Thank you again. Hopefully, as more people join us, I'd love it if you said hi, even if we are in the middle of a performance, and I'll just lean in and read what you've said, and I'll talk to you in between the sets on this screen. So this first song is called Orpheus Bows, and it's an oldie but a goodie. It's from my solo Abby Grace days. Hello, is that Andy? Yes, hello. Thanks for joining us, Andy. Before my heart breaks, the cushion sufficient space to keep myself safe. No, I don't think I can run fast enough this time. Don't have what it takes to distance upon lines, swallow me whole. All of that forgotten sorrow and soon swallow me whole. All of that forgotten sorrow. All right. Sorry if I'm looking down a lot. It's because I'm trying to gauge as best as I can guitar volume with vocal volume. Yeah, especially for this setup. It's fun. It's fun to have the electric for the shows, and I'm using it a lot because I'm trying to get used to doing more of those lead stuff. But for the acoustic, for something like this, it does have a lot of warmth. And a lot of my songs are written on the acoustic, so it's easy to flesh them out a little bit more. So I'll probably do some more acoustic sets. But like I said, I'm trying to get used to using the electric. So I'll switch it off. Also, it matches my background. My hollow body does, so that's pretty cool. So we'll come back to ta-da, this screen. Levels are good. Okay, good to know. Thank you, Julie. For those of you who might be joining us in the future or who are just joining us for the first time, I do this by myself. 100%. There is nobody else behind the scenes managing the knobs. And so I try to get it as set up as well as I can kind of beforehand. But today, for instance, I logged on to Studio One because that's when my audio is coming through, and it was like, oh, by the way, it's that one time a month that you need to put your password back in. And I couldn't remember my password, and then everything was like reset, and it was stressful. So I'm really glad everything is kind of like where it's supposed to be still. So Orpheus Vows, I picked that because I feel like it's a song that really represents to me how much more the fear of pain tends to be painful than like the actual events. It's like the more you anticipate a good thing, the more kind of joy you get out of it. Like they've done all these studies that show that the anticipation is even better than like the reception. But then with bad things, I think that's the case too. Like the more you are kind of afraid of something happening, the more you just kind of like drag out that feeling. And it reminds me a lot of when I was a kid, and I got a bicycle for Christmas, I think, when I was like 6 or 7, pretty small. And I loved the idea of the bicycle, and I hated the learning process. Hated. I think my dad is traumatized from trying to teach me because I just would cry, and I didn't understand why he was like encouraging me to do this thing where I could get hurt. And I was so stubbornly insistent. I did not want to learn how to ride the bicycle until eventually I would fall down and be like, oh, that's not that bad, right? And then from there, once I kind of knew that falling wouldn't hurt that bad, especially with what my dad was doing with me, then I was able to kind of like get up and learn how to ride the bike. So I learned how to ride the bike kind of in between falls. But up until that first fall, for the many months that he was trying to teach me how to ride a bicycle, I would just be like in tears. And that's kind of always what it makes me feel, what it makes me think of when I'm in those moments in my life. It's kind of how I catch myself, where it's like, okay, I am afraid of this thing, which probably won't even hurt as bad as I think it will, right? So that's kind of what Orpheus Falls is, or Orpheus Vows is about. Is it's just like that anticipation, that fear of getting hurt, and you're trying to protect yourself, but you're really not letting yourself live, you know? So that's the energy that I'm hoping through the course of these songs will be pulling you out of. So our next song is Feel Better, and that's going to require me to do some tuning. So go ahead and share your thoughts. I'm going to have to, again, lean in because my eyes, I need glasses. Well, you seem pretty fearless, Carwin, to be honest. That doesn't really surprise me. I don't know. I've had guy friends who were like, yeah, I fell down and that was part of the fun. That's not how I'm wired. Not one bit. By the way, I haven't mentioned this yet, but if the way that you like to express your gratitude, if you want to be maybe quiet, but you still are really enjoying the show, you can click on this button while it's live, this one down here, and tip. And then you can just go to that link if it's not live, and there's an option to kind of contribute to the Abundance Fund, the Ali LaRoe Feral Folk Abundance Fund. There, that's our tip jar. Yeah, it seems like you figured some things out about your life, Carwin, about how to have some fun in it. It's so much fun seeing some of the pictures or hearing your stories, your responses, where you are every Sunday in your time when we tune in with you. That bar space seems pretty legit. How are the geese, Julie? We need our weekly geese update because we're gonna miss one next week because I'm taking it off for my birthday. There we go. This is a song called "Feel Better," and I think you'll like it. I wrote it more like January of 2020, well before everything kind of fell apart, and it's really about. It's kind of about depression. It's very much about depression. Started laying eggs. Do we have more eggs? We had your first one, the first lay last. Oh, that sounded wrong. The first egg was last week that you told us about. So how many more eggs are we up to? All right. We'll get back to the geese in a second. I'm going to sing this song. Everything is equal in the dark, broken down into its basic shape. Quiet expectation of the stars. Your heart counts down the beat while you wait, but you don't know where your next step will fall. You're not on solid ground anymore. You don't know who you are other than a shadow. Well, you feel better soon. Your fingertips reveal you're still real. As time continues on without you, skipping just a step behind the beat. Or would you think if someone right now found you and you don't know where your next step will Ta-da! All right, let's read about these goslings after that sad. It's not really a sad song. It's just about feeling so intensely that it's almost like you lose yourself. You forget who you are. But it is hopeful. It is about moving through that and rediscovering and kind of letting go of all of those shoulds or expectations of other people. But it's an intense song, and goslings are far more fun to talk about. So let's read about those goslings. All right. Yeah, I mean, pros and cons. I do like being able to plug my acoustic right into the console and practice without having a ton of noise to disturb other people, especially since I have a tendency of getting inspired at like really late at night, 2 o'clock in the morning. My housemate appreciates me being able to plug in those moments of inspiration. But it is also, I play the guitar, the acoustic guitar primarily for most of my career because I like not having to be concerned about having a ton of gear with me. Got a mic here, or you can plug me right in, and you got a mic here, and I'm taken care of, and I don't have a whole bunch of amps or. I like it simple. I feel like if you can make something sound good with the simplest setup, then you can add it you can add more complicated things, and it's only going to enhance within reason, as long as you're sort of reasonable. Whereas if you're really dependent on a lot of things, then there's just so much that can go wrong, you know? Also, I'm just lazy or energy efficient, as I like to put it. So I don't want to haul a ton of gear with me all the time. All right. They got 2 eggs on the dog bed. Wow, those silly um, ganders. Not ganders, geese. And then your gander, it sounds like, is normally pretty sweet, but is being a protective dad gander. So that's a different gander experience. Faux show. Thanks for the update. And 8 eggs. Yay! I need to get glasses. Oh my goodness, this is ridiculous. Okay. Okay. Now I'm caught up. So to cap off this afternoon's happy hour set, I'm going to end with Sharp Teeth because I feel like that's really about taking those experiences, taking that pain and letting it motivate you and letting it transform you and letting it kind of I might get docked by Facebook for saying that or turned off on YouTube, but light a fire under your you know what donkey. Light a fire under your donkey. Um, so I'm gonna need to retune. It's about to be spring here in Washington, and let's see, it's probably coming on fall in New Zealand, right? So how's everybody handling the transition of the seasons? How does it feel? I'm so ready for spring. I don't think the mic is sensitive enough that you can pick it up, but Smokey's in the background meowing. I had to lock him out today, and he's not appreciative. loving the cooler weather. I'm loving the warmer weather. Next thing you know, you'll be sending me fog and snow. Maybe. I don't want to fiddle with it. I mean, it's basically showing me a whole dashboard. So I need to just magnify the captions, just the comments. And honestly, they're not super small. I can't quite make out what the words are. They just kind of look like squiggly-ish lines. And occasionally I can make out a letter. So I'll play with it for next week and see if I can change the arrangement so it'll make the text a little bit bigger for me. I used to just read them off of my phone, but now I'm using my phone as a remote. So this is Sharp Teeth. When the ocean does shoving and creation makes for destruction, won't you rip in me with all sharp, sharp teeth? Make me burn, make me bleed. When my throat's going tight and I'm too hoarse to sing, curled up round my fear, my identity. When my heart's turned to stone and my passion's gone cold, I need you. I need you. When I'm playing the safely, I lose like a railway. Build a fortress to run from my pain. When I'm lost to the touch, nail me with your love. I need you when pushing turns to shadow. Creation begs for destruction. Won't you rip in me? Oh, sharp, sharp teeth, make me yearn, make me burn, make me bleed. Tearing me down from top of the game. Winning on myself through powerful, jealous ways. When I'm close to giving in, I need back to life again. I need you when the pushing turns to shoving and creation begs for destruction. Won't you rip in me with all sharp, sharp teeth? Make me yearn, make me burn, make me bleed. All right, let's catch up. Oh my gosh, Carmen, I had no idea. It's been so hectic over there. Hurricanes? Is that what I read? No. Earthquakes and tsunami. And then some rain. My goodness. My goodness. Well, I'm glad you're able to join us. I'm glad that you're safe. and able to join us for this live little show Saturday here in Washington, Sunday for you. It is such a treat to be able to connect with you. I hope you enjoyed today's set. I am, again, for those of you watching in the future, going to be, and also, watching live if you missed it, taking a break next week because my birthday is the 22nd, and I wanted to give myself that, just this whole kind of week off as a staycation. So, going to be doing some personal planning and catching up on some cleaning and all of that stuff. I'll be on Instagram and everything and Facebook, so you'll still be hearing from me, but I'm not going to do a streaming show. So thank you for joining me. I'm going to stick around, talk with you for a little bit more since there is a little bit of a delay. A reminder, if you're watching live, you can tip with that button I'm gesturing to with my teacup. It's appreciated if you can do it. Or afterwards, after we're done, you can type that link into your browser, and that will take you to my Ko-fi page, and you can contribute to the Abundance Fund there if you enjoyed this set. Let's see. Yeah, I'm glad that sometimes you have to work, so I'm glad that you were able to connect, especially after such a hectic week. Whew. All right, well, that seems like a pretty solid place to end. Happy My Day. My mom has taught me some important habits around my birthday, namely taking like the whole month and treating myself, not waiting for other people to get me gifts. And I'm just hoping, like, as spring is showing up, I'm just feeling so much more hopeful. And I'm really excited about all of the things that this year is bringing, working on our next album, and then having the tools that I need to do this. I really am enjoying being able to have these concerts with people around the world. It's pretty special. So thank you so much for joining me. And I always forget to mention this. So now that it's the end, I'll mention it. If you haven't already, you can get a free download of my 5 favorite songs. And a nice little kind of intro to the band. There is a link that's either in the description if you're on YouTube, or that is the featured link on Facebook, and that'll take you to the page, and you can sign up and you can get yourself some free music if this is like your introduction to us. It's a really great way to get to know the band a little bit better and just get that music onto whatever device you like to carry music around on. So I will see you not next week, but on the 26th, and we'll celebrate then. All right. Bye.
You're studying your reflection in the window of a dark cafe, with a cold cup of coffee you bought with someone else's change.